single men of Reddit, what made you definitely not want a second date with a woman you went out with? We went to her place and her pets and plants were all dead. I saw goldfish floating upside down in a fish tank. And she had a dead hamster in a cage on her dining room table. She said that happens a lot and all I'm imagining is hamster after hamster starving to death right in front of her. The word sociopath floated into my mind. I made some excuses to leave, and she went a bit nutty at that point, which concerned me quite a bit, but at least I already figured her head was seriously spun. She rolled her eyes when I said she looked nice. She had put in a lot of effort. Criticized where I chose to eat. Complained about the music we went to see. I spent the whole date anxious, assuming that she was hating every moment, because, you know, she didn't have anything positive to say about anything. Then I had a good time. Let's do this again. Now I'm good. I've got enough negativity and mixed signals coming from my own brain. I don't need that coming from the outside too. I once went to a movie as a first date with a girl. Her idea, bad idea. She got there late and the movie had already started. She then wanted to talk during the movie in the middle of a crowded theater. I didn't shush her or anything, but everything was a one-word answer, trying to end the conversation. She got up halfway through and said I was obviously not interested in her. She was right. So, I'm not proud of this one, but I'll share. Years ago, when I was still single, I met someone online. We chatted a bit. She seemed cool enough, and we decided to meet up for a burger at a place I knew downtown. Seemed like a kind of low-key thing. I get to the bar a few minutes early and order a beer, then finish it. Then, 45 minutes late, she rolls in one. Okay, cool. We all have jobs and have dealt with traffic and whatever, it happens. But no excuse, just a shrug and a back quote. That's how it goes sometimes. She sat down, we began chit-chatting. She asked about my work. I assumed it was regular nervous small talk too, but no, it was trying to feel out how much money I made. When she asked my job title, and I told her, she immediately suggested that we leave this casual pub place to hit up a wine bar down the block. Okay, I guess. It's a little more upscale than I had in mind, but okay. We walked there, get seated, and then come the menus for. She ordered herself dinner. Some kind of seafood thing that cost an insane amount of money, and a bottle of wine. Not a glass, mind you. A $250 fucking bottle of wine. I had already ordered a drink from the bar for myself, and got the impression that this was not wine to share. She kept talking about much her job sucked, and how little it paid, and how no one at her work was fun to hang out with. Like the only conversation she had was bashing work and coworkers. With a few mildly racist undertones. The whole time, she was texting friends to meet up that evening. I was invited, of course, to party with them all night, and, I assume, bankroll their fun. I discreetly went up to the bar, paid for my drink, and just left. Straight up noped out of there, without so much as a goodbye. From my messages, when I checked in online later, I know that I backquote stuck her with an almost $500 bill, and that she was going to sue me for it. Heard from the wine bar owner later, it was close to work, and a sometimes happy hour spot, that she apparently tried to skip out on the bill, but they stopped her and she paid. BTW, my very next date was with the woman I eventually married. It went much better. I've posted this before, because it's so weird. I went for a meal with this girl I met through a dating app, and it was going really well. We started talking about movies, and then we decided to go to the cinema to go watch Inception. She said there was a cinema nearby, but I didn't know the area at all, so I used the GPS on my phone, and she held it and directed me. Once we got there we started walking inside, and I realized I didn't have my phone in my pocket. I said I must have left it in the car, and started to walk back to get it. She was trying to get me to leave it, and saying we would miss the film, but the phone was only about a week old, so I was really paranoid about it. We checked the car for about 10 minutes, but we couldn't find it. I asked her to check her jacket and bag, but she said it wasn't there. A couple parked next to us, so I asked them to ring my number, because I couldn't find it. It started to ring, and it was obviously coming from my date's handbag. She took it out, and said she must have missed it. I thanked the couple and locked my car, and as I turned back around she was walking the other way. I ran to catch up and asked what was going on, but she was very dismissive and was barely talking. That's when I realized it probably wasn't an accident and just left her to walk home alone. Met her at a hospital. I was an her patient for a hand wound. She was a phlebotomist. Asked her out to a movie and then dinner. Had a really excellent talk about comics and movies. We were getting to know each other and flirting. It was clearly a date. At the end, when I told her I'd like to do it again, she said her fiancé probably wouldn't be cool with it a second time. I met a girl from my university for dinner one time and she started the date off by saying she only ate with her hands and didn't use utensils because she's a super taster and can taste the metals they are made of. This wouldn't have been a problem if we were eating finger foods, of course, but it was a problem as I watched her eat a salmon fillet and wild rice like fucking Gollum. Edit. She was not a Filipina or of Asian descent. According to her Facebook she is German/Italian, and I know those people use forks. She chewed gum through our initial date, which was at a decent Italian place including a bottle of good white wine. And she proceeded to tell me how she had married early, had 2 kids, girls, realized she was a lesbian, left her husband, and took most of his money, lived with girlfriend #1, left girlfriend #1 for #2, ended that and then realized that long term, she needed a dick. I noped the fuck out of there so fast.